Welcome Aquarius to your monthly horoscope for April for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click on the bell notification symbol. This month begins in sparkling style with the Sun in Aries, the third solar house. This is about fleet-footed developments, the exchange of ideas. It's exciting stuff. But perhaps the most dramatic event is the conjunction between Mars and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius itself. Now, of course, Saturn has been in the sign of Capricorn for the last 2.25 years until the 22nd of March. Its move forwards into Aquarius is only going to be by 1 degree for the whole of this year. It's going to return to Capricorn on the 2nd of July and then come back into Aquarius on the 17th of December. But Mars is going to be in Aquarius for the next 6 weeks pretty well from the start of this month. And that's an opportunity to really cut a thrust, to be more dynamic, to be more focused on the here and now. Because as Mars made its way in the previous 6 weeks, from the middle of February through to the end of March, through the 12th solar house, even though it is blessed in the sign of Capricorn, it's exalted. For us Aquarius people, there may have been times when we felt a bit burnt out, a bit run down, or a bit preoccupied by past hurts and unresolved issues. So Mars moving into the sign of Aquarius moves the energy into the here and now. So that's wonderful. Now, of course, Mars in the first house, it would be argued by lots of astrologers, can have its downside, especially if we're rushing around, we can knock our knees, trip over. So it is important to pace ourselves and to have a clear focus on what we want to achieve. But the conjunction with Saturn and also with Mars helps individual ideas or new beginnings to be really boxed in a very focused way. So if there is something you're excited about that's starting new, you can put an enormous shift in right at the start of this month to put the seeds in that can ensure longer term growth. So it really is that important. But there still is a conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto in the 12th house. So that emotional, psychological stuff that's been so potent the last couple of years is not at an end, but there is an opportunity to become more enlightened. Jupiter is about learning, it's about knowledge. In the 12th house, someone could be acting as some kind of spirit guide, or perhaps you're reading things, absorbing knowledge, which is helping you to transform the more sensitive elements of your situation, just like it is with me. However, on the 4th of this month, we have a quite marvellous development. Because Venus, the planet of love and affection, moves from a sheltered zone, where it's been since the 5th of March, and it moves into a much more gregarious, outgoing, playful and flirty area, the 5th house, the sector of love and attractiveness. And Venus is going to be here for an extended 4-month period. Now, Venus going through the 4th house can be a magical opportunity to increase social interaction, to have more fun, to give yourself permission to play more. Now, next month it will go into a retrograde, which lasts about 3 weeks. And that, of course, can have some challenges. But I think see Venus's transit through to the 7th of August as definitely being a chance to shine, to bring new beginnings into your love life, or to re-energize an existing relationship that's working well. It's brilliant. You can feel a sense of attractiveness coming back into your situation. It's fab stuff, really. Then, of course, we do have the full moon, which occurs in your sister air sign of Libra on the 8th. The Libran full moon each year is about balance. So it's about finding balance in terms of Aquarius people around our thinking, because the 3rd house is about everyday thoughts. The 9th house, where the full moon is about more philosophical, more idealistic, more to do with expansion. It's higher, the higher part of our thinking. But Pluto is providing a T-square along with Jupiter to the axis of this particular full moon. So it is possible that something could come into the open over the next couple of weeks, which is a bit painful, or there may be a discussion of a rather delicate nature, something that you may have been struggling with could actually come into the open. But if it does, see this as something that can be enriching, even if there does need to be a conversation first of all to release something that hasn't been working very well at a more psychological level. But I think once Mercury moves into the sign of Aries on the 11th, it really is a wonderful window of opportunity through to the 19th to shine, because Mars speeds up, gets away from Saturn, it's more uninhibited, it's more about you being direct, passionate, demonstrating to people that you can be dynamic, and its link with Mercury from the 11th to the 19th means if you need to speak your truth about something, you can do so with real conviction, but most of all with persuasion too. Then we get to the 20th of this month, and the Sun does move into the sector of emotion, the sector of home, family, but it also almost immediately links with Uranus, the planet of surprises, which has been shaking up this part of your situation since May 2018. Of course, then it rotated back into Aries and then emerged back into the sign of Taurus in 2019, where it's been since. So if you have felt restless about where you live, or there's been a distance between you and family members, or there's been surprise additions to your family unit, or you've suddenly decided that you want to clear out one particular room, move the furniture around, anything that's to do with changes on the home and emotional front really hasn't been a surprise for Aquarius people. But this new moon, which occurs on the 23rd, can be so enriching, because it's saying, even if you are someone who loves routine, which can often be the case with Aquarius people, this can be a good time to review the way that you emote, the way that you feel things, to think afresh about these areas, particularly once Mercury moves on the 28th to join up with the Sun and the new moon, and of course Uranus. So if you do decide to make some sudden changes to your thinking, or there's sudden connection with someone, it wouldn't be a surprise at all. But it will possibly be you driving it, or someone can surprise you. For example, you may get someone knocking on your door that you're really not expecting, and you're delighted to see them, but there may have been a reason why they've not been in touch, or you've not been in touch. But it can be a time to reconnect or to separate. It depends on your unique circumstances. But on the 25th, Pluto does go into a retrograde, where it will be winding back until the 3rd of October. So that psychological journey that I've been talking about isn't at an end. It's only really going to start to come to an end once Pluto moves into Aquarius in 23, and then takes up residency for a much longer stretch from 2024. But Saturn will be coming back into Aquarius after going back into Capricorn on the 2nd of July, on the 17th of December, and then it will be in Aquarius for 2.25 years. So this early blush of Saturn combining with Mars is about taking possession of what you want to do, being much more directed, moving into your power. And if there are some things that need to come out of your situation, whether it's negative old thinking on the back of that full moon, or it is changes around where you live, who you live with and how, this is a month of enormous opportunity. Thank you so much for joining me for your monthly horoscope forecast. I'd love it if you would subscribe to my monthly magazine and my regular mail-outs, which are high quality astro journalism. You can also get your free daily horoscope within this emailed to you each day. Then again, if you'd like to have a one-to-one with me, or order your personal 12-month forecast and character analysis and get 30% off them, please see the links beneath this video. But for now, good luck and goodbye.